The victor of the last series, it is Sidestorm Gaming's Enderr.
And in the bottom right, he's a red Terran sporting the name Everlong, but he is actually Dome. Sick player from Thailand. Keen to see how this guy goes. You know, we haven't seen that many games from him. He doesn't really have any recent matches in Hearts either, so it'll be cool to see what he's got up his sleeve.
Yeah, I'm actually really interested to see what Ender's got up his sleeve as well, because the last time I got to see Enderr play his EVT in Legacy of the Void, he had some really cool little timings, and there's timings that you'd only see in Legacy of the Void at the moment, and I can't wait to see if he pulls something out similar to that again in this game.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to be a hard player to overcome in this tournament, though, because for Dome to look at Ender's previous matches and go, wow, this guy actually 3-0'd Jabito, the other Filipino player that came through, who's quite good in the qualifier. It's kind of like, what do I do against this guy? Because I have no idea how Dome's skill level compares to that of Jabito, so he's going to have his work cut out for him, but I do believe that he can certainly give him a run for his money if he's got the right strats to go to. Would love to see a great showing from this guy and give himself a bit of exposure, considering that we don't get to see the Thai players very often. Yeah,
exactly. And just going into the openings now here for our Terran, I thought we were going to see a bit of a Reaper opening here, but no, he decides against it and goes for just a very quick factory. And judging from that, I don't know about the gas counts for the tank drops yet, but that quick factor seems like he wants to go for a bit of tank drop.
Yeah, a quick 1-1-1 opening always kind of lends itself to that sort of thing, and it's very, very strong, especially to get like one of those really nasty positions that's super hard for the Zerg to actually close in on and start getting rid of the threat. But we'll see what he comes out with. I do actually like the Reaper opening as well, while he has neglected to go for it this game. But those Reapers are so pesky with the Reaper bomb now. It's just it's fun to watch more than anything else. Like, they still, in my experience, don't kill a lot. At least not if your opponent has good control, but always worth it for a little bit of a poke.
What I found is really tricky at the moment is if a Terran is going for like a couple of Reapers and then a bit of like the regular Helling and opener kind of stuff, and then they see that the Zerg's kind of walled off at the front, but then they just throw their Reaper bombs underneath the Queen's blocking, and then they just dive straight in there. It's like, no, you can't do that anymore to me. I've got these bombs.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Starport's about to finish up, and the first siege tank is on the way, so you called it insane. It looks like we will be having some tank drop action. Now I'm not actually sure where he'll want to drop that. I mean, it really doesn't matter. You're going to be a pest no matter where you put it, but we'll see where he chooses to go with it. Especially if you bring a couple of units on the ground for support, it can get really, really sticky as a Zerg player to deal with. You need the Queens on the medevac, you need a little bit on the ground as well. And at the same time, you got to try and not slip up with your macro too much, so it's really unpleasant to deal with.
Yep, and an interesting thing with Enderr going into Roaches here is obviously Legacy of the Void bringing new compositions to the table, and one of my favourite compositions I've been seeing so far is oh, actually, before he does go into that, he's going for a bit of a Nidus network here, Zep.
Oh, awesome. This is the other thing that Zergs have been doing time and time again against Terrans in this matchup. Queen Roach Nidus. It's so strong. You can't kill the Nidus if the Queens get out first and you get those transfuses rolling. Oh my goodness, it just tears Terran a new one. But will he actually be doing this in time as the first tank has arrived on the other side of the map? Yeah, I'm wondering if this is going to end up pulling him back at all. The Nidus is building.
And is there vision of it at all? No, he doesn't know about it just yet. But this tank obviously being annoying here on this low ground. Lings are going around the wrong way to take care of this, and this Queen gonna fall. But that Nidus network is complete, Zeph, and here come the first few Roaches coming off the line. Dome pulls everything off that main line. There's no tanks. Oh, there is one tank, sorry, which he will need to take care of, but he just picks it up in the medevac. He's just letting all of these SCVs go down. 10 workers gone down so far. More reinforcements coming now, and I believe that tank's been cleaned up on the other side of the map.
Oh no, Dome. This is why you need vision all over your base, because Zergs are going to do this to you every time. This really sucks for him. He's cleared up a fair chunk of roaches, but there's just so many more to come. And Enderr will take a very quick game one there. So for those of you in chat wishing for that Roach Queen Nidus build, you got your wish and it went beautifully.
They did indeed. And wow, that is such a quick Nidus network.
Yeah. It's brutal. It's really, really brutal. Like, if you're a Zerg player playing Legacy of the Void and you haven't tried it yet, you have to. You actually feel kind of mean doing it, because like the Nidus, that's what happens when you don't spot it. Even if Dome had spotted it, the amount of transfuses that can go off on the Nidus before you can actually kill it, oh my god, just forget it.
And yeah, unfortunately for him, he just didn't know until the roaches were in his base. And we're going on to Leralac Crest now. And this is an interesting map because... Oh, hang on. Don't start with me. There we go.
Sure, you don't want to go up against Enderr?
I don't really feel like versing Enderr today. Maybe another time. But anyway, yeah, Leralac Crest, I was saying, it's got that really open natural base there. So Terran going to be having a hard time taking a second base, but once it does get set up, that third base is kind of like tucked away there, and you can kind of protect it with like your buyer sitting out in front. But I mean, there's just so many wide open spaces for Zerg to attack.
For sure, and there's a bit of airspace floating around as well. So maybe we could see a repeat build from Enderr, but we'll find out soon as we hop into game number 2. And in the top left, it's the pink Zerg. He is Enderr.
And in the top right of this 4-player map, we have the red Terran from Thailand. It is Dome.
Whew. Hopefully he can bring it back here. And is looking really good in this tournament, though. I mean, if he wins this series as well, that puts him in a 2-0 lead in his group. And you know, that's obviously a really comfortable position for him to be playing from to get out of the group in first place. You know, there's still a couple of matches left, so we'll see what happens. And Dome, what do you reckon he could switch up so that he can maybe do some damage to Enderr in the early game, or maybe go for a big mid-game push? What do you reckon he should be doing here?
Oh man, he's got to keep his scouting up. This is why I wanted to see him build a Reaper this time around, as that was something he skipped out on last time. He just wasn't able to really get a scout off. He went straight into that tank drop play, and he just had no vision. The Nidus network was done as the tank was attacking the Queen in the natural there, and he just had no vision of it. So hopefully, actually an SCV scout coming in here, which I really like from him, but I really still want to see that Reaper follow up here, just to dance around and make sure there's no quick layers coming down or anything of the sort, and just be ready for an attack like that.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because he really skimped out on the scouting and ended up paying for it with his life. He has gone for the Marine again, though, into the CC, so perhaps not a Reaper fan is Dome. We'll see what he follows up with, though. He could go for the factory after that once again. Try a tank drop a second time round, we'll see.
Well, looks like my stream having a bit of a problem there. Sorry guys, hopefully it comes back soon. But continuing on here, that fast factory build is coming out. And yeah, it's just looking again like a tank drop build coming here from Dome. And I really don't like it. He's not going to be able to get the scouts off again.
Well, I mean, he can still head across the map with an SCV or even a Marine just to check, because, you know, while Dome wasn't exactly on the map very much, neither was Enderr for the most part. He just kind of sat back. He's like, right, I'm going Nidus. He just sort of tunnel visioned into that idea and didn't really worry about anything else. I guess because, you know, when you're going for a nice build, you're like, well, this is kind of it. Like, this has to work. So you're not too worried about much else. But 4 Lings coming across the map here just before the bunker actually finishes up. But he will be watered away from there with a couple of Marines. He wants to get up the ramp. He wants to take a peek, see what the strat is. But that factory just far enough behind that he can't get a good read on what's going on there.
Yeah, and that roach warren coming down again, but no lair just yet here from Enderr, so a little bit of a change in his play. And a scan, going to reveal that roach warren in the main, but sees no lair up there. He sees that the gas is being pulled out of. And actually, this is quite a quick little attack here. There's 6 roaches and a bunch of lings. This could really catch Dome off guard.
This reminds me of like early to mid HOTS times when the early roach pressure was super common. And it's going to work out really well because, like you mentioned when we were going into this game, the natural's very wide open. You don't have like a nice little wall to hide behind with your bunker and some SCVs that can repair behind it. You've got this big wide open space, a ramp that's kind of far away from your natural.
Oh, I really like this though.
Oh man.
I was gonna say, like, Liberator's gonna be really good, but I forgot they need that research now, and these roaches and lings are already coming across the map here for Enderr, and this natural base is looking in dire straits.
Uh-oh, in come the roaches and lings. The bunker's gonna fall very, very quickly here. He tries to repair it a little bit, but it's to no avail as the roaches march straight up the ramp. They're gonna beat down this supply depot with ease. Natural is being forced to lift, and he's coming to repair this as the first Liberator pops out. Is he really going to be able to do anything here, though? He's losing SCVs. His natural is in tatters. This is going terribly for Dome.
Yeah, he's trying to bust it down. It looks like he will finally bust that supply depot down, but still no siege mode on that Liberator. And, man, these roaches and lings going straight into that middle line. Focusing down that research, too, for the Liberator. And this is looking extra grim here for our friend Dome. And Enderr looking to get himself a very quick 2-0 once again here.
Oh. GG. Enderr will take a very quick series once again. He's not keen to let us get very long games, is he?
No.